Hello, I'm a tall blonde man and welcome to my channel. Today, I am going to be talking about my first experience doing drag. It was my only experience thus far. Back when I was in Chicago, I had a bunch of friends who started doing drag, and after nights and nights of sitting around watching them get ready, because it was fun to just hang out with them, drink some beer, and watch them all transform and just hang out with them in general, I decided that one night I wanted to do it. Now, my experience with drag has always been fantastic. There's like one particular case when I was back in college where I was having some like skin problems on my back specifically, and my friends were all wanted to go out to the bar. I decided that I was gonna wear a tank because it was summertime, which I typically avoided tank tops because of my skin issues. So I decided to wear one on. I was super self-conscious about it going into it. But then I went to the bar with my friends. Oop, burped. We were just walking around the bar enjoying ourselves, and this one drag queen that was there came up to me and was just like,
"Fine thing in here tonight."
And I was just like, ah! But no, I was actually just like, oh my gosh, that was so nice. And that was the only time I ever received like a compliment like that at a bar throughout like my entire college experience. So the fact that it happened on that night specifically was just like mind-boggling for me, and it was just great because it gave me so much more confidence for the rest of that night. And since then, I've always had this like sweet spot in my heart for drag queens. So that's a little background. Going back to Chicago, the one night my friends were like, hey, if you want to do it, we can do it tonight. So I was just like, okay, let's just do it. Chicago has a bunch of resale shops for clothing. They were all going to get new clothes for the evening for themselves. So I went with them and we went to the women's section. Of course, just because we're gonna be drag queens, we started like trying things on, and I was like, okay, where do I want to go with this look? So I was like, let me do like a powerful woman, and because I'm gonna be stinking in heels, and I'm gonna be like 7.5 feet tall with a wig to like a wig to boot, because I had known what wig I was getting, and it was gonna be this like tall curly thing. And I decided I wanted to be Rosie the Riveter meets like a pinup girl. So I was like, okay, let me do like some plaid action, maybe a little like shirt tying thing, and let me do like booty shorts, because of course, like if you have the opportunity to wear booty shorts as a drag queen, I thought might as well do it. My friends were gonna like give me my leggings and do like my makeup and stuff, so I was like, okay, let's just go. So I went there, and like the last minute they were like all running out. I had to like pick an outfit, so I was like, okay, let me just try on the stuff, and it ended up working out like perfectly. Later that night, I went over to the house, and my friend did my makeup for me, as I was saying, and I did not see anything until the end. I was like, okay, let's do this. So I just sat in a chair for a good, I want to say hour and 15 minutes, I want to say, and I looked in the mirror, I think halfway, and I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna be crazy. And my friend finished up, and I looked in the mirror and I was just like, oh my gosh, I look like my sister. And I did, it was so funny. And I put my wig on, and then my friend had a pair of size 13 heels.
Size 13 heels.
For me to wear, so I put on those. They were just like black, and then I stuffed a bra with rice, like stockings filled with rice. So they were just like boob balls and boob rice balls. Put them in, and then I was like complete, and I put that wig, oh, and then I brought a red bandana to kind of give that like Rosie the Riveter pinup kind of thing, and I tied it around my head and had like the knot sticking out like this, and it was a blonde wig, because I had to do a blonde wig. And I looked in the mirror and I was just like,
oh my gosh.
like it's just like crazy, like you literally feel nothing like yourself. And then I decided to FaceTime my parents, and they have to see this. They have to see the other daughter for a night or something. I don't even know what I was thinking. And I showed them, and they were just like, oh! Even like my dad was like, because I FaceTimed my mom, but my dad was with her. So they both saw, and they were just like cracking up and freaking out over it, and I was dying of laughter. So I decided to give my name Scarlet Winter. I saw somewhere, I think it was like a church bulletin or something, like back in the heyday, and I remember like telling my mom like, ooh, like that's such a pretty name. And so I decided to go with that, and it was also winter time, so perfect. So then my friends and I decided to go out to a bar that was near the apartment we were at, and that was the bar that they frequently did shows at. And I went out there, and there was a show going on for my one friend, so he had already gone in there earlier to set up. And I invited a bunch of my friends too, because I wanted them to just like see me in this state. Remember, I got there and I was just like so tall, I had to duck through everything. I looked like nothing like myself. Like I got to go out in the night not as myself, which is very strange for me, and I'll talk about like how I felt about that after. My friends decided to come. I remember my friend looked at me and she was just like, she was with some other friends of ours, and I was like, hey, and she looked at me just like, what? And I was just like, it's me. And then she was just like it was just, she was baffled. And so they got to see me, my friends got to, a few other friends came, and they were like baffled as well, but it was kind of fun. Like, I mean, walking around in heels, like I understand why girls wear them, I guess, because it makes you feel powerful, and it's also like a great leg workout, TBH. I was like, I gotta get protein powder in me after this, because this is a great leg workout. I did not have a beard at that time, by the way. So I decided to just hang out, went to the bar, enjoyed the show, enjoyed my friend time. I kept my face on, I took off my wig, gave it to my friends, gave my heels back, left the apartment in like a Carhartt jacket that I always wear, jeans, and like Skechers, but then had like full face. And I think I took an Uber home that night. So you can imagine what the Uber driver was thinking, but all the Chicago ones seemed to just get a kick out of it whenever, I mean, we got an Uber to go to the bar, and we had like 5 of us drag queens coming out. So I'm sure the Uber driver was cracking up on the inside. But I got home, and I had like kind of like reminisced about the night and like how I felt about it. And it was really weird for me because I love going out and interacting with people. It was like a new person. It was like a fresh start. It was like starting off as someone new. And I didn't like that as much. Like, I don't know what it was about it specifically that I didn't like, but I didn't like that my friend didn't recognize me, or that I wasn't like me. Like, I guess I just didn't like that aspect of it. For like doing it for a night, loved it. It was just such a like an out-of-body experience. It was such a weird and interesting and cool experience just to go out as this different person. I mean, like Halloween is one thing where people do like makeup and stuff, but like that's like expected, and it's not really like I feel like I did look like a girl and just a really tall Amazonian crazy girl. Overall, I haven't done it again. Would I do it again? Sure, because it's just fun, and everyone got a ride out of it. It was a great time, but I don't think I could be a drag performer per se, but hey, at least I tried it and figured that out. And I can't speak for everybody, but I didn't feel like myself at all, and that was the part I like didn't like as much. But maybe it was just like certain things because it was like my first time, and maybe if I went out multiple times I would feel a lot different because people would start to know me as that alter ego, you know, or like even on like RuPaul's Drag Race, like you get to know the boy form and the drag race form a bit, so maybe things would be different then, who knows. But overall it was super fun, and I feel like I looked pretty hot, TBH. Like I feel yeah, and that is my story of doing drag.